Happy holidays, everybody, and welcome to this very special episode of the Mini Timelines. We're going to be talking about a great Christmas movie and a great movie all around. We're talking about the Gremlins movies. That's right, perfect for the holidays. But before we do, real quick, I just want to point out that I don't know if anyone's been following all the new YouTube advertising controversy stuff, but certainly my channel has been affected by that. So if you get a chance, if you're feeling in the holiday spirit, please check out my Patreon page down below here and help support. It's as little as $1 a video that you can kind of donate to help out and keep these videos going. These awesome people right off to the side here, they do contribute to the channel, and I want to thank every single one of them for sticking with me throughout this year and donating and kind of helping me make these videos on a pretty regular basis. So thank you guys very, very much, and thank you for feeling in the holiday spirit and possibly giving a little bit to movie timelines. But in the meantime, let's check out some Gremlins, shall we? Gremlins came out in 1984, and nothing was ever the same again. We're set in Kingston Falls, a small New York town, and we meet our hero, Billy Peltzer, and the girl of his and pretty much everyone in the 80s dreams, Phoebe Cates. Billy's dad gets him a special Christmas gift in the form of Gizmo, who is a mogwai. Gizmo comes with 3 rules: keep him out of light, don't get him wet, and never feed him after midnight. It takes Billy less than a day to break one of these, and a splash of water causes 5 additional mogwai to pop out of the little guy's back, including one with a stripe on his head. These guys are more devious and conspire to eat after midnight, causing them to become cocoons, which quickly hatch into evil little green guys. When they attack, Billy's mom basically slaughters most of them, creating the PG-13 rating for the rest of eternity, so thank you for that, Gremlins, until only Stripe is left, but a quick dip in the pool creates a whole lot more, like a whole lot more. Billy tries to go to the police, and Breaking Bad's Mike shows up, right before Mr. Futterman, played by the always brilliant Dick Miller, and his wife get bulldozed. They create tons of mayhem until our heroes manage to blow them all up in a movie theater, but Stripe manages to escape, and we have a big final face-off in a department store, and right before Stripe is able to multiply again, Gizmo himself takes him out with some well-placed sunlight, melting Stripe in Exhibit B of why the PG-13 rating was created. It ends with Gizmo's Chinese caretaker showing his disgust with the Peltzers, and taking the little guy back home to Chinatown. No date is given in this one, but it's pretty safe to say that it takes place in 1984. It took 6 years for the Mogwai to return in 1990's Gremlins 2: The New Batch, which starts off with a Chinese shop owner meeting Daniel Clamp, who is a parody of another similar named New York businessman who I can't quite put my finger on right now. It then cuts to 6 weeks later, and Mr. Wing has passed away, and his building is demolished, leaving Gizmo alone and captured. We then see Billy and Kate, and they're still together, and there's a big poster for Do the Right Thing in the background. That one came out in 1989, so that's our most likely date for this entry. Billy and Kate work in one of Clamp's buildings, and so does Christopher Lee, who has Gizmo. Billy saves him, but Gomez Adam gets him wet, and a new Mogwai appears, and they look pretty different, including a googly-eyed gremlin, whose sole purpose is to look stupid, and Stripe clone named Mohawk. It's revealed that Mr. and Mrs. Futterman survived the attack in the first film, and then these guys eat after midnight and transform, starting their attack and, of course, getting wet. And then everything goes off the rails. They break into a gene-splicing lab and become a vegetable gremlin, and this guy here becomes super smart, this guy becomes a bat, and there's a vat of genetic sunblock, although I don't quite know how brainy this guy can claim to be because he doesn't think to inject all of the gremlins with it. Luckily, Mr. Futterman gets his revenge, but the movie breaks because the gremlins ruin the film. Again, luckily, the Hulkster's here. That's right, Hulk Hogan, professional wrestler, turned actor, turned cultural icon, is in the movie where he breaks the fourth wall of the movie he's in by talking to the audience, and you, sir, are a raging psychopath. Next, we get an electric gremlin, a female gremlin. Chris Lee gets Electrode, and Mohawk gets Spidery, with 8 legs and a thorax, just catching pretty ladies in a web, while Gizmo becomes War. He kills Mohawk, and the gremlin group has a big musical number, which is interrupted when the crew blasts him with a fire hose. But before they can multiply, Billy uses the electric gremlin to flash fry all of them. It all ends pretty happy with the female gremlin surviving, and possibly having sex with this guy here. I don't know, it's pretty possible. This one's crazy, and I mean it. The first film might be a straightforward classic of the highest degree, but the second one is literally like they wanted to throw as much insanity on the screen as humanly possible, and they're both fantastic. So there you have it. It's only 2 movies, but the continuity is very, very solid. The second one doesn't make a lot of sense with the first one, just in terms of tone. That Key and Peele sketch, if you haven't seen it, it is 100% accurate. But I love them no matter what. Well, that's about it for this video. I hope you guys have a very fantastic holiday. Enjoy it. Enjoy the new year, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks in 2018 with another great video.